Hey everybody, how are we doing today? Looks like we are going to have a big crowd today. The room is getting pretty nice here and cozy. We got about 100 spots available here on the call, and looks like we're about almost at the max of that number. So what I'd like to do right now is just give a shout out to say hello everybody and just kind of say hi to you individually, which is kind of cool. But here's what I kind of know before going into that is I know some of you guys are just calling in and you can't really type, so that's fine. So you're just calling in on your cell phone or whatnot. But some of you here are ready to learn, and others you might just be playing in the background along with the other three tasks that you're trying to accomplish today. So who I'm looking for are the people who are wanting to implement, change their lives, change their wealth, and create a nice piece of income coming in. So if you're here to learn and you're ready to listen, go ahead and give me a yes or I'm here in the chat box, the control panel over to the right there, along with just your name and maybe like where you're from, and I'll just give you a shout out here before we get started. So we have Max from England, Josh from Texas, Sean from Illinois, Susan from Alabama. Hello, Susan. Kathy from Arkansas. We have Lewis from Missouri. Hey, that's my hometown, brother. Cool. Oh, wow, wow. Everybody, well, the chat is just exploding now. I'm not gonna be able to keep up. So hello to everyone. Hello, hello. So let's get started. So today, I'm going to share with you the exact loophole I discovered in the late 2013 that allowed me to generate $55,000, 239 and 41 cents in under 3 months in the online world. So if you were to ask me in the beginning of January 2013 how to make 10,000 bucks online, let alone 55,000, my reply would have been probably like, that's practically impossible, because my mindset was people are trying to make money online and a lot of people are failing at it. So I'd actually put that number around 98% of people, and I was a part of that. I was a part of the 98% up until I had my breakthrough in mid-2013 and found this particular loophole for online sales. So, and I'll be the first to tell you, it is possible to make money online, and it is possible to profit $1,000 a month or $10,000 a month. I've proven both of those true and have also taught others how to do it very successfully as well. So for some of you on the call, an extra $1,000 would be beneficial. And others, $10,000 would be beneficial. But either way, can we all agree that having more money coming in the front door is a good thing, right? So the best part is it took me under 3 months to get to those kind of levels of money. So once I was able to break through the internet barrier and find the solution, I was able to build my online business very rapidly. And that exact breakthrough is what I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. So before I get into like the raw content, like I always like to, I want to see like why everybody's here, like what's going on. The why are you here today? What is the reason you are wanting an extra $1,000 to $10,000 a month coming in your life? So real fast, type in the chat on why you're looking to add more income to your life. So, I mean, I got some pictures up here. So for some of it, for some of you guys, because it's you want to pay off your education loans or purchase a trip to an island somewhere for a long getaway. Or, true story. I was actually talking to a guy yesterday. His dream was to take a vacation to Rome, and he has had that same dream for over 10 years and decided this was the year that he was going to make it happen. So we did this. We printed out a calendar 3 months from that day, and we wrote Rome really big on the calendar, so that every day he is concentrating on making that dream a reality is pretty cool. Because what you concentrate on expands. Now let me tell you my why. The reason I started my online business, was to get my son Liam through daycare. I wasn't aware of becoming an early father of the immediate costs, which happened to be, in our case, $250 per week to have him go to daycare. And I told myself, if the internet business didn't ever work out, I'd go into building daycares because that's pretty dang profitable, it seems. But look, here we got some comments coming in. So Ryan says family. Yeah, Ryan, same here. Sean says to cover his mortgage payment. Wow. Oh, this is good. Lisa says she is ready to wind down. WINE. Create continuous income and say goodbye to her daytime job. Couldn't agree with you more there, Lisa. So that's awesome, everyone. Because today you're going to learn how to make an extra $1,000 to $10,000 in profits per month, just like I'm doing, without creating a product, cold calling customers, or even building a website. So today's agenda, to kind of give you an overview here, is you're going to discover how I'm able to play on Facebook a few hours in the day and make money from it. So I call that monetizing. So from here on out, when you hear me say Facebook monetization, that's what I'm talking about, making money from the use of Facebook. So you'll discover how to 5 times your income by the end of today's call just by the internet. And I'm going to reveal the first steps I took that led to my online business. So once you understand the steps I took to gain monetization from fan pages, we're going to flip the screens, and together we'll do a live call here. Sorry about the phone there. Let me turn that off. Going through the live call, and we'll just do a demonstration for you to see exactly how it's done. And lastly, I'll be presenting an opportunity for you guys to kind of continue learning with me by just making an offer. But of course, I won't do that until I've delivered, on my promise and given you guys just tons and tons of value. So, I have to tell you though that the system that I'm going to reveal is literally so simple that a high school student who is literally voted like most likely not to succeed can become very successful from this. That's how how powerful it is, and 2, how easy it is. So it is powerful in a way that it's going to be able to take you out of your current day job and allow you to extinguish your current income revenue streams and be completely in control of who you are, what you do, and where you work every day. And the time frame on that is typically between 3 to 4 months to make that happen, which in reality, that's a pretty darn quick timeline to be quitting anyone's job. So getting more into the loophole, here's the idea, simply put. We come up with ideas to put on a shirt, we design the shirt, and then we show this shirt to a specific audience, which I'll get into here shortly. And when that audience buys, well, we get paid, which is money bags. And it doesn't get much simpler than that. So taking that same idea, I would like to now show you what we've been able to produce over a period of those months in revenue from just selling shirts that we've created to a specific niche. So here's kind of our outline of the last 3 months. So highlighted in red are our 4 circles, one at the top, make sure you don't miss that one up on the top left there, illustrating the amount of revenue paid out from the website we currently use to sell the shirts known as Teespring.com. So adding all the circles up totals that, $55,239.41, which was made in under 3 months' time. Now that's not a bad payday if you ask me. I mean, I feel everyone on the call today would accept that check hands down, no questions asked. So now that income is pretty sweet, but I want to take you back into the future, a little bit to show you kind of where all this began, because I'll be the first to tell you that I didn't get on a computer and just start making that kind of money. I mean, it was tough. So in the year of 2012, I was dabbing in the Facebook market then too, and I had actually made a how to use Facebook course DVD. I mean, it was actually pretty damn sweet, come to think of it. I mean, it had 3 DVDs in it, walked anyone and everyone through how to set up their first Facebook profile, and then how to become famous on Facebook using social techniques. So I literally created that DVD in my basement. I mean, it took me around 4 weeks to complete, I think, all the recordings. Sent it out to California to have reproduced, and as the shipment is leaving the factory in California, I'm at the same time reading this article on the right. And the headline reads, GM, who's the old car company, says Facebook ads don't work. Well, that's wonderful. Pulls $10 million account, etc., etc. I mean, this literally article, it shocked me. Because here's a massive Fortune 500 company that is basically telling the world, hello, Facebook sucks, don't do it, we've spent millions, stay away. Don't even try to sell those Facebook DVDs of yours that you just ordered from California. I mean, it's a losing battle. And you know the sad thing is I took the bait. I pulled out of Facebook world and didn't really know why I was pulling out. And come to find out, that was a pretty dumb move on my part, which goes to show, I mean, nothing ever really good is learned from the news. But looking back, because of that article, I practically held myself back for over 5 months. Now, let me tell you a quick funny story here about those DVDs. So I sent the finished product over to California to get them published, right? A package, shrink wrapped, all that stuff, which this took about like 7 days turnaround, which wasn't bad at all. I mean, 2 weeks after the shipment arrived, I mean, I think I ordered like 150 of these things. Anyways, 2 weeks after the shipment arrived, that's when Facebook also announced it was like changing its entire platform, which pretty much meant like 25% of my DVD was useless. And that was a big lesson learned. I mean, I took screenshots. I mean, there's a mount. I was videotaping my screen, and so people could watch like mouse click by mouse click how I went through everything. And then at the end of the day, Facebook announces they just changed everything, so those mouse clicks were irrelevant. But I still couldn't help myself to, with all that said, to watch all these ads that just kept coming into my newsfeed. I mean, make money on Facebook, make money on Facebook, let alone all the articles that started appearing throughout the internet talking about like the Facebook success. So let me show you what I mean here. So like Yahoo Finance announced 1.1 billion people are using Facebook on a monthly basis. So just so you guys know, in order for Facebook to stay essentially free, businesses have to be placing ads within Facebook. So spending money, in other words, to keep it free on the consumer side. And if that doesn't happen, well, Facebook will not exist. So here we have 1.1 billion people. I mean, that's an enormous amount of people to get your business brand in front of. So I started doing some due diligence and researching the success, right, of Facebook. So here, Facebook announced this monthly active users. So which I showed, on the previous slide was at like 1.01 billion, right? So this means, this is a big thing here. This means that the user is coming online at least once a month to check their Facebook. And that number discounts all the other people who create an account and have never logged in. So 1.1 billion people are coming online at least once per month. So what was even more amazing was the chart from BIA Kelsey, which projected a $7.1 billion spending. Hello, $7.1 billion spending in online media advertising for 2014. So what that pretty much quickly told me is if, Trey, you're not in the advertising online very soon, you're going to be pretty much left in the dust by all the other online marketers, which obviously no one wants. So Northwestern University Research Center sent this article out stating Fortune 500 companies are increasing their use of Facebook, Twitter, and online media streams to build brand awareness. So hold the phone here. So now Fortune 500s are back in the online games? Like, okay, what changed is what's going on in my mind. And this was it. This is the change. The change was that Facebook was allowing companies to start advertising on their consumers' Facebook newsfeed, stated here by Tech Hub. I mean, this is where Facebook made a turn in the right direction for online marketers. You see, old Facebook advertising was putting an ad on the right-hand side, which over time was ignored by the end user. I mean, which is often known as banner blindness. But with the new change, our ads were going right where they were looking in the newsfeed, right? When you log in the Facebook, that big column there, that's called the newsfeed. So what they're now doing is called native advertising. So no longer is the trend of commercials, I like to use Pepsi as an example, of these commercials saying like, hey, buy Pepsi, it tastes great and make you feel good inside, and Britney Spears like walking all over the dance floor. I mean, rather, it's now all about placement, and that's called the native advertising. So a perfect example is America's Got Talent, where all the judges so happen to be drinking Pepsi, right? So do you think that these cups were put there by mistake or or all the judges just so happen to bring their Pepsi cups on the same day? No, no, it's targeted placement. And that is the same thing that Facebook's doing today, and that's why it's so cool. But then it gets better. So later in the year, TC announced that Facebook has confirmed the autoplaying. Yeah, the autoplaying of videos in the newsfeed. Maybe you guys have noticed this, like when you're scrolling through your newsfeed, all of a sudden a video starts playing. Of course, it doesn't have sound, but this is taking out the competition media sources like YouTube, Vine, Vimeo, to which now, from a marketing standpoint, I mean, you could create a video that captured the audience attention, grab them, have them buy your merchandise. Pure genius. You see, with the news feed now being the new playing field and the use of auto-playing video is when my loophole and strategy really came into play here. So getting into the approach, I identified target niches. I mean, such as baseball teams or gardening or motorcycle brands such as Harley Davidson, Suzuki, Kawasaki. And after finding a niche that I liked, which is obviously very important in the way, next we created 3 fan pages, all in that one particular niche. For example, so we had a toothpaste niche. Let's see, we would do one page about Colgate, another one about Oral-B, and then let's say the other one was Crest. So we then pushed likes to all 3 pages. And this would grow the pages rapidly within like the next 48 hours. And doing so with the 3 pages will make the winning page pop out. So basically the one that's popping out is the one that has the most engagement and the most interaction. So once the winning page pops, you can then delete all the other campaigns. So not delete the fan pages, you can always go back and use those, but all the ad campaigns and keep the winning fan page, right? And keep those likes going. So for this example, let's just say Crest was the most engaging. So we would keep the Crest page up and continue pushing likes to it, and we would stop the other pages like ads. Everybody follow me here? All right, I'm getting a couple, there we go, a couple yeses. Yeah, following, okay, good. So after we have a winning page, we then start to do what's called lead capture, creating a database full of direct leads concerning the particular niche that we choose, which in this case is Crest. So basically what this means is we are asking for like names and emails from the fans. Like, hey, what's going on? You want to learn more about Crest? Put your name and email here. So if you know anything about Facebook, the Facebook world, or marketing in general, you understand that having likes on a fan page, and this is very important, does not do anything for your business. Everybody go shock and awe. Oh. What makes money is conversions. Conversions create income. You see, I mean, and everybody say, oh, because it took me a month, probably a little longer than that, to figure that out. My thought was, okay, build a fan page with massive amounts of likes, income follows. And that was crazy wrong. I mean, the fan page is your foundation, yes. Okay, that's very important to have. And then building a database on top of that, behind the walls of your Facebook foundation, gives you now direct contact with your fans at a moment's notice, because you can email them anytime you want. So, for example, we currently have a database of like 15,000 fishing fans, and we found a lure on a site similar to overstock.com, and we purchased the 1,000 units they had in stock. We then told our fans, hey guys, we have this awesome lure for $5. Click here if you want it. And when we sent out an email to our database, we had a 50% bump in sales. Because here is something to note. I mean, Facebook fans see only roughly 2% of the stuff you post. I mean, that means for every 100 posts, a typical user only sees 2 of the 100. So for every 100 posts you post, a typical user only sees 2 of those 100 posts. And those aren't very good numbers. I mean, especially when you're trying to sell something. This is why having your fans' email is so critically important. Now, here's an article from the New York Times dated January 15th, 2014, which is pretty recent actually, where the question was asked to Jeff Gibbard, a renowned like social media marketer, right? Jeff, what do you think about paying to advertise on Facebook? And his response was this: I think Facebook advertising works particularly well for retail businesses and businesses looking to use Facebook to drive online sales and bring new customers into their store. It also works well for content driven businesses like the Huffington Post. Now, that's pretty interesting stuff, but now as you can see, I mean, the universe was shouting out saying, Trey, hello, slap you on the forehead. Facebook is up and running, and you need to get on board ASAP. And I listened, thankfully, because from there, with all these articles and publications hitting the market, hit me in the forehead, it had been stupid of me to just keep sitting down and not implementing anything on Facebook. So the first thing we did was we put a monthly Facebook budget together. Because as you guys know, without a budget, I mean, you can spend a ton of money on these fan pages and literally have zero results. So always make sure you're putting a budget together. So realistically, we put a budget of about $50 a day together. Now with that budget, if we could achieve 5 cents per like, we were happy. And in a month's time, we should be seeing approximately 30,000 fans, give or take a few thousand. So once we knew how many fans we could achieve, we estimated approximately 2% of those fans, total fans, would sign up with our email campaign. So going with the example, if we had 30,000 fans on the page, we should see roughly like 600 people go into our email database, which is huge. I mean, I'll take 600 email accounts any day, anytime. So we set up an email drip campaign and started promoting offers to it directly. Now, basically, a drip campaign is used with an email database to where it just sends out an email every other day or every third day, things like that. So as you can see here, some of the emails, E1 through E3, would be like news or alerts or articles about that particular niche. And then E4 was a money email, an email where we would promote an item that we made money off of. Pretty simple, actually. So looking at this, that was all theory, right? So now it's time that we took our theories and applied them to the real world of Facebook, and that's what I'm going to show you now. So on November 14th, 2013, we created a page called I Love My Six Sour, and we applied our theory and we put it into action. So we started with an ad budget of the $50 per day to yield approximately 800 likes per day. So here is our total expenditure from November 13th, the day before the page was created, to January 13th, 2014. So over the course of 2 months, we spent a total of like $1,965 for likes. So doing so resulted in 31,757 likes. Basic division shows us that we're about 6 cents per like, because that's not too bad. I mean, we weren't far off. And that was really close to our estimate of the 5 cents per like. So looking a little closer, you can see we did have a few spikes during the campaign up on that top chart, but as a majority, the likes stayed right about 800 likes per day. So we're right on target. So clearly, this resulted in a steady incline for like total page likes, right? So if you recall, I mentioned earlier, keep this in mind, that likes don't matter. Conversions are what matters. Conversion equals sales. So now how do we get the likes to turn into conversions? So here you can see from the 30,000+ fans, we were able to gain approximately 1,900 email contacts, which if you remember, that's 4 times the expected amount we thought would register. So once registered, they were assigned to the same drip campaign I spoke about earlier. So you can do this with any emailing service out there, such as Office Autopilot, Aweber, GetResponse, MailChimp. I mean, all those work really well. So now we have the database, we have the fans. Now how do we monetize those? So here's an example of just that. Here's a post that we created on the left talking about a $100 scope. We put this on the fan page. We did a pretty neat thing here, which we posted on the fan page first on January 9th. The post received some pretty good feedback and nice engagement, like 105 likes there, 11 shares, I think is like 22 comments. And what we then did next, though, was we sent an email out to the 1,900 contacts that we got. Remember the emails? talking about the scope as well. So to the right, far right over there, you can see the results this had on our Amazon affiliate account. So every time someone buys a product from our Amazon affiliate account, we get 7% of the purchase price. So in this case, we had received 155 shipped items with a total earnings of $226. Now this is a very important thing to note and is the secret behind Amazon that I'd like to share. I mean, Amazon gives you credit and a commission on anything a consumer buys within 24 hours after they've clicked your link. So the only way to describe like the power behind that is by an example. So where we had a consumer click on a $5 item that we had emailed out, he then proceeded to go buy a $700 watch. They didn't buy the $5 item we had suggested, but instead, since they purchased the $700 watch after clicking our link, we received a full 7% of that $700 sale. Now, you will be surprised how often that actually happens. So let's continue though. Here's a hoodie post we sent out to our fans of the 30,000. So highlighted in red is the organic, just the organic traffic we were able to create in under 5 days. So looks like this one post generated about 9,000 likes, 2,100 shares, and a little over 200 comments, which is pretty cool. I'll take that. But what does this mean for profits? So in those same 5 days, we were able to sell 641 shirts with a goal of 200. We had our goal a little low apparently. But that equates to $8,294. That's a margin of $12.94 per shirt we're making. And this is after Teespring has taken their cut. So that's all the money that we get. Now this campaign still had 2 more days to run, and at the rate it was currently producing, this campaign was averaging 130 shirts per day. Pretty cool. So it's easy to see that in a very short amount of time, we're able to build a fan page foundation, fill our email database with prospects, create offers, and then profit from those offers. And this was all done without having to talk to customers, having to cold call anyone, having to stock physical products in a warehouse, having to deal with chargebacks, none of that. I mean, I think you get the idea. This simple idea, I mean, this is so simple, guys. This simple idea can create a massive amount of wealth for the ones who take it seriously. And the best part about all of this is all it takes to run this type of business is a laptop and a cell phone. And I'm pretty sure that everybody watching this today has both of those. So I showed you this slide earlier in the presentation, but wanted to bring it back once more just to show you exactly how a few shirts, I mean literally a few shirts, can create a nice income for some of you guys on the call today. Total, we sold 8 winning shirts in under 3 months, which paid out 55 grand, guys, $55,000. This is a simple idea that has big potential, and it's extremely easy to do. But Trey, where do you find the niches, ideas for the pages before you go out and start building them? Great question. Frankly, I use magazine racks. Those racks are full of ideas in particular niches. I mean, one thing you know with magazines, and that is practically guaranteed, is that that niche is big enough for them to create a magazine. It's big enough for you to create a fan page, right? Because they're not going to make those magazines if they're not profiting from them. And that's a good concept there. I will frequently go to magazine racks every about 2 to 3 months just to see if anything new is coming out and to get more ideas for fan pages I'm wanting to build up and monetize. So when visiting the magazine stores, I highly recommend you find 5 to 10 different niches you would be proud to create a fan page for. And the reason you're finding 5 to 10 is because you have to do research online, sorry about that, to make sure those 5 to 10 are popular online as well versus offline. And what I usually do, my findings usually are about 2 to 3 are popular. So I do so by using Google Trends, which is free to the public. And it can be used as much as you want. I mean, I absolutely love Google Trends. It's super sexy, easy to use. And let's just referencing that example, right, I gave you earlier about the fan pages concerning the toothpaste. So I just entered the 3 toothpastes: Colgate, Crest, and Oral-B. Pretty simple to do. Google Trends tells us that Crest, indicated in blue, is the most searched of the 3 and will most likely have the most engagement on your fan page. So I'm using Google Trends as a guide to reference how my fan page should react. Because then I will create the 3 pages, so I'll create a Crest, Oral-B, and Colgate page, and make certain that Crest is indeed the winner of the 3. So one thing to look out though for is cyclical trends. So a really easy example for this is sports. So here I put in some baseball teams, Cardinals, Boston Red Sox, Chicago Cubs, and most of the teams are pretty close to trending the same, which is fine. But as you can see, there's massive spikes, big spikes for that matter, telling us that this niche is seasonal. So having a seasonal page is fine to do. Just make sure you understand that your audience will only be visiting during a part of the year versus the entire year. Okay? So a way around that, a way around seasonal trends, is by starting another seasonal trend that offsets the first one. So this example shows us the trends of football and baseball, 2 of which sports are opposite of one another when they're in season. Now this is great for our fan pages, since we will only be working on one winning fan page at a time during each season. Thus, we have a continuous stream of income coming in the door. So let me show you a quick testimonial, because I'm not the only one doing this, right? I'm teaching people how to do this. So let you listen into to a conversation I had with a good friend of mine, Fernando, and how he's just killing it in this business.
Hey guys, Trey Llewellyn here. I wanted to show you guys this video and share just kind of what some other people are doing inside the Teespring world, really. This guy, man, he's just taken everything that we've shown him and implemented, committed, and has shown results because of doing that. And it's just really cool to listen to hear his story on where he began, how he achieved his first results, and then he went into a little bit of a dip, and then how he just came out rockets on fire, just selling a crazy amount of shirts here. And you know what? I'll let you just kind of hear his story. Here you go.
Just a quick background. I'm in the dog training niche. I actually have 3 pages. One is just general dog training information. One is for dog trainers to educate them. And one is I have a dog rescue. All of these don't have a tremendous amount of fans. The biggest one is my one for dog trainers, which has about 1,600. But they're not huge fan pages. And a few months ago, I saw a video that you posted that introduced me to Teespring, which I never heard about. It was selling t-shirts online, and you piqued my curiosity in that 5-minute video. And I said, hey, this looks interesting. I'd like to try that. So I tried it out, and I did a couple of Teespring campaigns, and this is what happened. So my first one sold 66 shirts, getting me a profit of $423.02. My second campaign sold 56 shirts and gave me a profit of $355.26. And then my third campaign, 42 shirts, $107. And so, that's not a huge amount of money, but for me, that was for a little amount of work, I was amazed that I was able to make that much money. Then my next 2 campaigns did not do so well. They actually ended up costing me some money. And at that point, after I did those other 2, I was a little dejected, saying, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Why did some of them do good, some of them didn't? I had no rhyme or reason. And I really didn't know what I was doing. I was really kind of making this up as I went along. I really didn't have much information on the correct way to do this. So actually I gave up at that point and said, you know what? It's too much of a risk. I'm not much of a gambler. I don't want to, my last campaigns didn't do so well. Even though I was, obviously I made a profit. I was just a little nervous, to continue doing this, long term. So, but, in the back of my head, it was still hit me that this should work. People are doing this. I just probably don't know what I'm doing. So then I went out and I got educated. And I was able to figure out exactly all my mistakes, how I set up my Facebook ads totally wrong, how I was doing everything wrong. And so then I got educated and I realized the error of my ways. And then I created my next campaign. Next campaign sold 800 shirts. And you can see here, made a profit of almost $5,500, $5,465.54 in profit. And I was blown away. I sold 800 shirts. My goal was 50. And this was just, I created a design all in Teespring. I didn't pay any money for designers. I just used their online designer. What I think the reason why this shirt did really well is a couple of reasons. One, I understood my target market. I created a shirt that they wanted, and they were actually like I was creating in the past. What I've learned actually since this shirt is that you really have to understand your market and do they wear t-shirts and what will they like. And some of the other markets that did poorly, I didn't understand my market. So everything went right in this campaign, and as you can see, the shirts I sold on each day. So the first day I sold 12, but that was before I ran Facebook ads. That was just through email lists and stuff. And I'm promoting this pretty much on one Facebook page. I promoted them once on all of them, but then I would, do some Facebook posts on the one site repeatedly. And that's the site that had about 900 fans. And running this campaign gained me an extra 500 or so fans just from running this campaign. So it was pretty good. I got a lot of more exposure to my fan page. So that was pretty good. Here's some of the Facebook ads that I ran. I tried to get creative with the images, and I found that did really well. All these did pretty good. I targeted specific demographics. And then the one that did the best, actually, was this one here with the hoodie. And actually, I sold 390 hoodies. And this shirt, my copy here says, wow, so far 186 shirts have been ordered. And I ran this Facebook ad when there was all the way up to there was like 700 shirts sold. So this ran for like a week, and it's continued to perform great. And everyone bought hoodies because of this ad. So it was pretty cool, and it was shared 735 times, had almost 2,000 likes. So did really well. So I thought I found that being creative with the images, I think really helped the campaign a lot. So that's it. I hope everyone learns from this and can able to do well with your Teespring campaigns. Trey, I can't thank you enough for introducing me to this and helping me be successful here, and I will continue to study everything you do. Thanks so much.
Cool, guys. So I want you guys to be the next Fernando. Here's the deal. I'm looking for 7 case studies. I want someone who is willing to give their all, show their results, illustrate their pain, the hurdles they had, and how they and I came together, conquered it all, and achieved the desired results. And that's just a great way to do it. So let's get down to what I like to call the skinny. We're only taking 7 students, as I just stated, as right now. We took on 20 last month, and we're able to get them the results and are seeing tremendous success. My goal is to bring on 7 more this month. So here's who we're looking for. And before I go through this, just keep in mind throughout this process, if you were chosen, you guys are on the forefront of this entire system, right? We're looking for someone who wants to take their life. This isn't a hobby. This is going to be a business. Take their life to another level in 2014. We need someone who has no problem implementing tasks, not someone who can just, be in information gathering mode. We want implementation mode. And there are many shiny objects out there. I've been guilty of that too. But here's where we need to push, and we need to get those results. So if you join this mastermind, this group of elite, I will be there 100% along the way to make sure you succeed. You also have to be open-minded. When we dive down into this system and just show you a few things, you might be just surprised of the underlying mathematics that go on. And you probably never thought of just some of the things that we do, right? So please be open-minded when applying. We need to be okay sharing your results, such as Trey. I created my page 3 weeks ago and just made my first sale. Hooray, I'm super excited. Or Trey, after following your videos, we have built our page to 12,000 fans. Dude, that is super. That's killer. We want to see those numbers to make sure you're on target and not left behind. We need to know that you're comfortable sharing those results. And then at the end of all this, I hope to get a testimonial from you. Because if you can relate to all 4 of those, then you're exactly who I'm looking for to take along in this journey of a lifetime, to come and embark on this journey with me. But like I said, we're only taking 7 of these students for this month, and we already signed up Tom from Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. I think he's on the call with us yesterday, which actually leaves 6 remaining spots. So that's the max right now. I'm going to take in for the mastermind. So how do you apply, right? Here's what you need to do to apply. You can either call or text this number. This will go straight to our office. It's a Google Voice number. And just let me announce that number here real quick for those listening on the call that can't see the screen. The number to call or text is 314-669-1685. Again, 314-669-1685. So if you do call the number, it'll go straight to voicemail at this time, since we're on the live lunch and learn here. But don't hesitate to leave your name, your number, and where you're calling in from. And the most important part is your why. Why do you want to be a part of this system? There's nothing to buy here today. We're not selling anything because, frankly, we have to meet with you one-on-one to see if it's a good fit or not, just to see if we relate. So when you call or text, make sure you do leave your full name, email address, and why you feel you'd be an excellent candidate to becoming a student of the mastermind. So from there, basically, we take in all the applications. We'll contact you out. We'll have a meeting with you, a one-on-one, probably about 45, 60 minutes. If you're fit, great, we'll bring you on. If not, hey, you know what? That's okay too. If you don't like to call or text, you can fill out the form that is shown on the screen right now just by going to that link, talktotrey.tv, so not .com, .tv, /nothing held back. And there again, they'll just ask you for your name, email, phone, and why that you feel you're an excellent candidate for this mastermind. It's really simple, actually, guys. So paste that link right into the chat here for you. All right, there it is. You guys can click on that, and that'll take you right over to the form. And once we start going through the applications, text and voicemails, we will start approving, certain ones, and we'll begin to give shout-outs to those who applied. And depending on how the rest of the day goes, we do have some slots open to talk to a few of you. So just kind of keep a lookout on your phone here or your emails where you reply, and we'll get you scheduled up, and we'll go from there. So saying all that, that is where kind of everything lies. That's where the dust kind of settles. And there's probably some questions I need to answer. So give me a moment here while I look through those real fast, and we will start the Q&A. So looks like we have a first question from Becky.